Thank you so much, Mama Sandra and Baba Charles. So that's right, right?
Yeah.
That's right. I'm not only tired from riding my bike across the country, but I'm tired because someone decided to honk his horn out front all night. So riding your bike across the country is not as exhausting as you would think. But, oh my gosh, there's so many issues that we need to address. And I think that politics has to be on the local level. I think that's the only way that we can get in and make the changes that are good for our families and our children and our communities. And who else but somebody who is a true female, a true what I call matriarch, not patriot, but matriarch. You know, someone who loves every person in humanity, not just the ones in our own borders, but every baby, everybody's baby, someone who would not order their own children to go kill the children of other mothers. Never, ever in a million years. So we need true women, not women who might have the outwardly, appearance of being a female, but who is very warlike, very like someone like Hillary Clinton, someone like Condoleezza Rice, someone like Golda Meir. You know, those are females, but they're certainly not women. You know, so there's a difference. There's a difference. And this is how insidious our system is. We're conditioned from the time we're born to obey authority. Sister Sandra said it's better to be obedient than sacrifice. Well, I'm not obedient. I have a problem with that. But we teach our children peace. You know, I don't know very many mothers who tell their children to go out and be violent to solve problems. Right? The mothers, the families are saying that there is a peaceful, non-violent way to solve problems. And then, even though I am white, you know, I've always been poor. We've always been working class. And my son didn't have the same opportunity to go to college that people and the children of the 1% have. Right?
Right.
So he joined the military to get a college education. And college is a human right, not a privilege for the 1%. Education. I shouldn't say college. Good education that is fully funded and accessible. And I was reading about the overcrowding in your schools here. All the school districts they're closing schools. They're making it impossible for the teachers to teach and the students to learn. And they're teaching them things that don't have any value in their lives anyway.
That's right. That's right.
And so my son joined to get a college education, and he gets killed.
Oh.
You know, that's a terrible price to pay to want to educate yourself. And then my daughter, she got her master's and she has $50,000 in student loans. That's abominable. You know, it's not for something that's a human right. You know, housing is a human right. Here in the United States,
Thank you.
We have 18 million empty housing units. We might all be here in the city. And we have 3 million homeless people.
Right.
And that's 5 houses for every homeless person.
Right.
Even the babies, right?
Wow.
Right? And so what kind of society lets people sleep on the streets when they have empty houses?
Terrorism, terror.
And I want to say that, you know, these local issues that you all are struggling with, I've been talking to, you know, the people since I got here, and I have said that Detroit is in the vanguard of this economic collapse, this shock doctrine, this disaster capitalism. capitalism, right?
Yes.
You unfortunately have been in this since the 70s, and it's spreading to the rest of the country. And so it's so important for Tour de Peace and me to be here,
Yes.
to see this,
Yes.
and to give you all hope that your struggles are valuable and inspire us around the rest of the nation. People are starting to turn towards each other, which is the best place to turn.
That's right.
Right? Our communities and our families. They're starting to say, what can we do together to build community and to thrive and survive this collapse? And you all have so much to teach the rest of us because you have thrived.
That's right.
You have rejected. You have rejected the oppression.
Yes.
You have rejected this that they have put on you.
Right.
And another thing is that our country since 9/11 has spent $1.5 trillion just in Iraq and Afghanistan. That's not the trillions that go for the Pentagon, for the nuclear program, for veterans care, and blah, blah, blah. I know how to cut the VA budget. You make health care a human right and single payer for everybody. If everybody had that access, you wouldn't need a VA. Right?
Right.
So, they're literally sucking our communities dry by these wars for empire.
That's right.
And no matter what local issues we're struggling with, which are so important, and I'm going to run for governor of California with... I'm saying we reject the establishment. We reject your wars. We reject your economic oppression. We reject your environmental devastation.
All right.
And we might not win, but they have to know that we're out there opposing them every step of the way.
Yes.
And sometimes, especially on a local level, you have a better opportunity of getting in there to make the changes, to be the squeaky wheel, to be the gadfly, to never let them forget that we oppose them every step of the way.
All right.
Right? And we don't need to work with those kind of people. We need to work with our communities. We need to build a support that gives us the room to make the changes. The changes are going to come from people that get in there with the political power, but they need the grassroots behind them.
Yes.
Right.
And we need to never stop. So even though these issues are so important, I mean, they're not just important, they're vital. They're matters of life and death, literally, I'm not exaggerating. And we have to say, if our federal government, if our nation, the federal government, wasn't wasting trillions of dollars on empire, we would have the money for our communities. We would have the money for education, single-payer health care, housing, food free of GMO and other poisons.
That's right.
And we would have that. And I think a healthy America is, I'm not saying that I want the wars to stop so we can have a good economy. I want the wars to stop so people stop dying. Right? But it has a benefit. When the U.S. reduces its empire, ends its empire, stops the wars, and people can live in peace without having to worry about their homes being destroyed, their communities being destroyed, their nations, their way of life, their sovereignty being invaded. And here, if we have a healthy economy and society in the United States, that benefits the entire world, because we're not poisoning the world or killing the world with our war machine. So I think the forefront of our demands has to be peace. Unconditional peace. Here and at home. This is home. home, and away. Well, here, you know, my home's California, but my home's been someplace different every night.
Wow.
And as I go across the nation, we're seeing the same microcosm of what's happening here.
Wow.
And like I said, and instead of people withdrawing into their own homes, their own problems, they are seeking each other to solve them. And to say, okay, we have a government, but you know what? What's happening in Detroit is more important than what's happening in washed up D.C. So keep your community healthy. And if we have healthy communities, it'll spread across this way. Horizontalism is the only way for change. But if it spreads horizontally, the only way out that has to go is this way. So no trickle-down war, no trickle-down economic oppression, no trickle-down environmental devastation. Trickle-up peace, trickle-up love, trickle-up health,
Thank you.
and community. Thank you.
Yeah.